This is very important in reference to guidelines and laws of the procedures and situations of a hostage situation. If I was ever held hostage, obviously I've been held hostage for the past 30 years. And the role protocols in the media 24 hours a day, it's always going to be there forever, no matter who's in office, no matter what person's an executive, no matter what person's in any branch of any of the companies. It's always going to be there forever. It's not allowed to change. It's not allowed to get any additional scars or markings or injuries on it either. The role protocol is a documentation of my identity, and it's supposed to be there. If anybody's trying to combat or trying to steal or trying to manipulate the document, you can get prosecuted. You're not going to get any fame and fortune by causing injuries to my body. You're going to get probably the death penalty or life in prison. And in reference to whoever the bad people are trying to injure me all the time, you're going to get prosecuted. The ankle damage, none of that's not in the role protocol either. And you're violating the ballet industry and sports industry and modeling industry and a lot of other things. But in reference to governors and mayors, the way the situation works, you might have been a governor or mayor in office when they kidnapped me, and you didn't know about them kidnapping me. But there are procedures in reference to guidelines of things. They're trying to make me burp right now or something. Hang on. Satellite man did that. And they're trying to scrunch on my face. When they make me burp, they're trying. They're like squeezing my face too, and when they make me burp, it's more lawsuits against them too. But hello, Mr. Bean. The satellite man is messing with my face. But, in reference to a person, if you're a governor, a mayor, or police chief, or in any organization of government, and I've been held hostage or injured during your office, you're probably going to get sued. But the people that stole, if, say, for instance, if a governor or mayor from all 50 states tried to send me money or tried to send me information for me to travel or to move to my mother and father's mansions where I got kidnapped from, or, my parents owned mansions in several cities and states. But all police chiefs are going to get sued during the past 30 years. And if you've done what is procedure against these people, then you can easily aim that lawsuit at the people that kidnapped me, the people that held me hostage, the people that have abused me. But you have to have filed all the documents. You had to make all the police reports. You had to make, weekly reports and daily reports of some things, Like if Governor Gray Davis was the governor in California when I got kidnapped, he would be getting sued. But if he put up efforts against them, the lawsuit, he wouldn't be, the state of California would be getting sued. And meaning like he has to show and have evidence that he tried to stop him or that he tried to rescue me from this hostage situation in Indiana, that he was not involved in stealing genetics or injuring me or blocking me from my mother and father's estates. Same thing with any other governor or mayor in America. Every one of them's getting sued because they could have easily beat any of these other people in court holding me hostage. You guys know that, right? Or any other governor or mayor. Like if somebody was holding me hostage, the politician should have went against the politicians that are holding me hostage. It's illegal what they're doing. Like, for instance, North Carolina has possibly tried to rescue me several times. And they've tried to send money, or they tried to send me new cars or something, or gifts or holiday gifts or something. And they put effort showing that. Possibly. I haven't received nothing, so I don't know. Then they can easily direct the lawsuits against the perpetrators, the people holding me hostage. But it has to go on all the records of all governors and all mayors and all police chiefs that I've been held hostage during their administrations. I'm the good guy, not the bad guy. I'm the good person, not the bad person. I'm a real hermaphrodite. So anybody's hatred or jealousy or seven deadly sins or fatal attraction or helter skelter is prosecutable no matter what. So, in reference to, say, for instance, if a president was in office and I was held hostage under that presidency, that presidential administration gets sued because they could have went into court and said, hey, what the hell are you doing? Why are you holding the person hostage? What did you do to the person? What are you trying to do to the person? Those kinds of things. And those types of things, are prosecutable, and their administration would get sued because any administration that would be on my side of the situation of prosecuting people, holding me hostage, holding me against my will, holding me against my rights, it's never signed, never gave, never sold, never, always. I'm the owner of my mother and father's estates forever, no matter what. It's protected by royal hermaphrodite bloodlines of both my parents. Don't forget that. Like, even if I had a child myself, I would outrank that child no matter who tried to play control games. Because I'm the child of my biological parents, of my mother and my father. And they were both hermaphrodites. Hermaphrodites. But in reference to procedures, if you're in law enforcement and I've been held hostage or abused, you're going to get sued. All police stations get sued. All government offices get sued, no matter what. But hopefully you've shown some phone calls to governors and mayors. Hopefully you've shown phone calls and you've shown defense tactics to stopping these people. That would be good. Then that might lower the amount of what that office gets sued for, because then, you get sued for not doing enough. But it probably wouldn't come out of certain people's personal finances. It would come out of their administration finances or their office of finances. Because, I'm the child of my mother and father. I'm a rare individual of genetics. And I'm an athlete too. So, in reference to people trying to injure me, trying to ruin my longevity in sports or athletics or ballet or movies or music, it's lawsuits always. Or people trying to steal my identity, it's lawsuits. People slandering my education is lawsuits, because I went to private schools too. Very prestigious private schools. And universities. And we went to public school for a while when they held me hostage. The government was holding me hostage after they kidnapped me, and then my mother had sent the truancy officers over to where they were holding me hostage, and they were like, hey, how come that kid's not that person's not in school, that kid. And then they had to put me in school when they were holding me hostage, and then my mother rescued me, And so it's kind of like a long story of some things, But if you were in office, your office is going to get sued. But if you've done the phone calls, you've done the letters in the postal mail, you tried to send things, then that shows that you've been making an effort to rescue me from this destitute situation or this financial hostage situation. So it's kind of important in reference to what each governor and mayor has done trying to rescue me from this hostage situation and this abusive situation. It's always very important. See, this is one of those things. Since I'm the hostage and I'm the one being abused, obviously I'm not supposed to have to do nothing. But if somebody else was, which I'm not allowed to do certain things because of my own value and what I own, because somebody would try to mislead me into a situation to try to injure me, or they would try to murder me, But in reference to the attitudes of legitimate politicians, man, you would have a field day kicking these people's asses in court. I don't understand it. I don't understand. And same thing with law enforcement. If you were a police station and you went into court and said, why are you holding this hermaphrodite hostage? Why'd you try to enslave this hermaphrodite? Why'd you do this to this hermaphrodite's body? The royal hermaphrodite. Somebody wants me to say royal hermaphrodite. I'm always a royal, and I'm always a hermaphrodite from the day I was born forever. But, in reference to Plus, I'm the owner of Ballet Pizza, and I'm the owner of my mother and father's estates and companies forever, too. Plus other things, too. But, in reference to if you were a governor of a city or state, and you came over and said, we want some answers. What the hell's going on? And they had some government man, well, I'm doing an investigation. No, you can't kidnap people and fabricate investigations. You can't play hearsay to investigate a person that's so super wealthy or a person that has rare genetics or is a hermaphrodite because you wanted to steal their genetics under a false investigation or you were trying to do some type of human testing. California has the information that I'm a hermaphrodite. So does a lot of other cities and states where my parents had mansions. And the protection status is on record in all 50 states and internationally. So if you were a governor or a mayor, I don't know why you would allow these people to get away with this, because you could have shined like a shiny type thing or something. I'm not talking, talk about diamonds being shiny and pretty. If you were a politician in court or an attorney in court against these people, you would have had a field day with these people's crimes, with their illegal activity of illegally detaining a person, holding a person hostage. They've tried to rape me. They physically assaulted me. They've done all these things. A good governor or mayor would just have a field day kicking these people's asses every day in court. And these satellite controllers, like, hey, what'd you zapping that person for? What'd you burn that person for? No, that's not good. You ain't supposed to do that. That's not a good thing to do. You'd be on these people like flies on shit, I guess. It just doesn't make any sense why police chiefs or police stations or cops haven't voiced their opinion very much about these people. You want some notoriety, you talk about it. Go after them. You want to be in the hermaphrodite museum of somebody protecting a hermaphrodite in reference to certain things, or, you might want to get your name in the history books of the museums going after the people that kidnapped a royal hermaphrodite, going after the human traffickers, going after the thieves. I don't understand it because, some of the people claim to be watchdogs, but I'm the good guy. I'm the good person. I'm the real hermaphrodite. I'm a real girl too. But that's usually what you hear when somebody makes that comment, the good guy, which the good guy means could mean, unisex gender acknowledgements, I guess, because I hear there's girls that say that too, that they're the good person, they're the good guy, they're the good girl, or whatever, what people say. They mess with my nose, and they're hitting my tonsils. That satellite man is. But I don't understand why they haven't been on these people like flies on shit, man. Like, hey, what you doing? What are you zapping the person for right now? You thought they said something. Said what? No, that's not a reason for you to be zapping them. Freedom of speech, freedom of expression, personal opinion, personal choice. People don't have to like other people. People have legal rights to congregate or associate with people that like them and not to be attacked by people that don't like them. See, these people don't like me because I'm a hermaphrodite and the fact that I'm a royal and the fact that I own my mother and father's estates. These people are trying to make their intervention of making situations claiming they were concerned. Concerned about what? Somebody else's money in their own pocket, of their own money? No, see, that's not a legal concern. I've never bought nothing illegal. I've never done nothing illegal with money. Better quit hitting me in the throat. They can see that in the video every time the throat moves like that. Somebody's going to reach down in your throat one of these days, probably. Better stop what you're doing. But, in reference to governors and mayors and news networks and reporters, I don't know why you're not asking at the governor's office and mayor's office every day what the hell's going on. Why I haven't received compensation. unless those news networks are working for the thieves. But that's illegal credentials. You're not allowed to use my company credentials to steal from me. You're not allowed to use my company credentials and the companies I own. You're not allowed to use credentials to manipulate or to rip off me or inside theft or anything like that. You understand that? So news networks need to have records of phone calls, of offices, and there'd be some credibility for people that have went after these people in court. They're ringing my ears right now, that satellite man is. But, in reference to the crimes and activities, you'd be asking these people every move that they make. What you doing, government man? What you doing this for? What you doing that for? Where's the money? Where's the benefits? You don't know. Well, you're in that position and you got to go because you don't know. Where's this at? Where's that at? Why aren't I at my mother and father's mansions? I got kidnapped from my mother and father's mansions. So you got to ask, okay, who did it? What time and date? It's on record. Who did it? Which person's intercepting phone calls? Which person's intercepting the postal mail? Because there's probably some governors and mayors that might have wrote me letters that they might have gotten framed in a picture frame. Meaning like, oh, that's a nice letter. I might put that on the wall. Or that might be a nice letter. I might put that on the wall somewhere. But never received none of them. Or celebrities or, memorabilia of, a celebrity friend writing a nice letter, putting it on the wall like in a famous restaurant or a famous letter from a friend. Didn't receive none of those. Would have put them on the wall, maybe in a frame, or I would take them to my mother and father. I'd take the letter or the plaque or whatever it is and put it on the wall in some personal museum or something. But didn't receive nothing. So if I don't receive it, then it gets lost in the postal mail or whatever. So then you got to go after the post office and who they're working for, and who's stealing the gifts, who's stealing the money. Then they'll say, well, this person said he thought you were born in Greenfield. No, wasn't born in Greenfield. They made that document when they held me hostage back in the 80s. Now, does anybody know who exactly made that document? Who, what, when, and where, and why? You got to have that on record, and it's got to be in the museum. This was the name they held me hostage under and made me use this identification. Who made that? Time, date, location has to be in the museum where they made the false forgery. It's a forgery of a fake base. That's my mouth. False forgery and a fake birth certificate. It's a fake birth certificate. Every time they do that, it makes you stutter. It makes you. To them, it's funny. It's like a billy goat. Look at all those billy goats every time on TikTok. Those are kind of cute and funny, but in reference to them doing that to a person, it doesn't look as cute. But in reference to those billy goats, like blah, 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 those are cute. The billy goats on there. But in reference to satellite man or government freak doing that shit, it's not funny. But back to the point of the situation of governors and mayors and police chiefs. Even if you're a new police chief because the other one was a piece of shit or he wasn't doing his job or he was allowing the abuses that people had done to me, the new police chief has to handle this situation too. You have to go after which people did what, why they didn't do this, why they didn't do that, why they didn't follow procedure in reference to sending me money, sending me information so I could travel, or money so I could travel to my mother and father's mansions. Or why didn't they send me money so I could pick out another house to buy close to where my mother and father's mansions are at? Because we don't know who's on the property in some places, whether they're real people or whether they're CIA or FBI, NSA people trying to impersonate people. And those CIA people had plastic surgery and they tried to impersonate one of the maids or butlers of my mother and father's mansions or something. That's why I need if I couldn't get to my mother and father's mansions, a house that's in the local area would be the next best thing, right? Or in a upscale neighborhood not too far away from my mother and father's mansions. But all my mother and father's mansions was in upscale neighborhoods. And see, you're not allowed to lower my financial status or value. Plus, the government owes me over a quadrillion or maybe even an octatrillion plus dollar lawsuit in reference to what they did to my parents. Because my parents was forever rich. And I was born forever rich. So if anybody tried to steal my revenues, or they tried to steal my ballet pizza company, or they tried to steal my recipes, or they tried to steal my trust funds, they must get prosecuted. There is no ifs, ands, or buts. Didn't touch my hand. They stole it before I received it. They go to jail. They get charged. They get prosecuted. And notice, I don't give things away because I'm not allowed to. I'm not allowed to be a philanthropist. So, all these people that thought, they thought they'd steal genetics, make children, and then they thought they'd control your postal mail. No. I have a higher education than those children. I went to Harvard and some other private schools. And I've studied ballet and been in ballet growing up. And my celebrity, Hollywood A-list celebrity, I was in movies when I was a baby. Some of those black and white films, I was a toddler. I was an infant. There's some movies that my parents was holding me as a baby in those movies when I was first born. And home videos of my mother and father, too. I'm the only child, and there's any of those stolen children. They're not in any of the home videos of my mother and father. So you're going to lose on that, too, whoever the thieves are. If you tried to play any control games, or you didn't arrest people, or you didn't block people, or you didn't send monies or letters or instructions for me to move to another city and state that would treat me better than the hostage situation in Indiana. And don't play stupid. There's a lot of evidence of abuses back in the 80s. And all the injuries that you've seen in pictures, the teeth damage, the facial injuries, those happened in Indiana. But yet I'm still being held hostage in Indiana. And I worked at the Indy 500 yesterday. And hello, Joseph Newgarden, good acknowledgments in reference to winning the Indy 500 there. And hello, other participants in the Indy 500 race. Good job. The race is a world event, and it's very important. And rock and roll. And hello, NASCAR and car racing industries, lots of things of importance. Somebody wanted to know if I ever raced an Indy car or ever drove one or anything like that. Somebody can provide some information. It's probably best that you do provide information. If you don't, they might be getting sued. If I ever drove in any race car races under a different name or something, Obviously not under that Mark Ray name. No, I wouldn't do that. Hate that name. It's not even my birth name anyways. But anyways, I haven't received my identification. Whoever's still in the identification, if all 50 states sent a copy of a driver's license with one of my mother and father's addresses on it, find out who stole it. Because I never received it. You could be on there. Why isn't the DMV in there yelling at them? Like, who the hell are you people? Who are you to do this? It's not yours. It's not yours. Why you got your hands on it? Why are you touching it? Why is it in your pocket? Why is it in your wallet? Who are you? Who are you? Who? Be on them like flies on shit, man. It's not yours. Get your hands off it, klepto. It's not yours, klepto. This would just be like a serious, humorous, funny ass thing of throwing it in their face of them getting caught stealing monies or gifts or letters that people tried to send to me that are friendly letters, Somebody'd have a heyday with these people. I don't understand it. Why they're not, because things got to be on video and recordings for it to be in the museum too, and paper documents against these people. Because some people want their credibility just to show they were going after the thieves. And another thing, don't think you're going to get super rich off trying to extort money from me claiming you did security, because that's not how it works. The Treasury knows that's not the way it works. So in reference to people trying to rip me off, I mean, some people might get some credibility on some things, and there might be something looked at and evaluated and analyzed later. But, this is kind of like the acknowledgement of what's going on. Somebody say, maybe it's like a country royal duty of just, making yourself feel good about speaking out against these people or something, in reference to some acknowledgments. But, there's some people that are on payroll at my mother and father's companies that are supposed to be doing things, and obviously they're not. And there's supposed to be attorneys working on these things, but obviously they're not doing the right thing yet, or they haven't done enough yet. And governors and mayors and police chiefs are supposed to be on these people like flies on shit, But then these people tried to call me the bad guy. Or they tried to call me the bad girl or bad person or whatever. I don't get into shit. But in reference to people going after these people are all caught red-handed every single time. And these people have been caught red-handed for over 30 plus years. And then the law board or the police association has to ask, how come these people wasn't arrested? How long was you in office is what they might ask a certain person. How long was you in office when these people was holding me hostage is what they might ask you. In reference to me personally being held hostage, my birth name and my identity and the fact that I'm a hermaphrodite. So, you're a Mr. Government man. You were enslaving a hermaphrodite that came from a rich family. Where's the money? You were trying to do human testing. Human testing is illegal in this country. You can get no consent from me. I don't sign no consent forms of any human testing of any kind or physical assault, no matter what. So you have to get prosecuted for your crimes. And this is not a pro sport. Dodging satellites or getting attacked by satellites. That's not a pro sport, man. Or surviving the game of their satellite controllers. Or trying to survive the game of politicians trying to steal my mother and father's estates. No. This has been a life and death situation of attempts of murder and torture and mutilations and sex crimes of government people trying to steal my identity and my family history. And there has to be court cases every day. And lawsuits every day. And lawsuits in reference to delays of not receiving compensation and benefits. Plus, the government satellite man tortures me on the weekend too. They've been doing this to me for over 30 plus years. So, in reference to court cases, there has to be court cases every day, police reports every day, refusal lawsuits against the government for not providing me with monies or compensation. People that are holding on to monies that was supposed to give me the monies that they were holding on to from my mother or father, and they never did. Lawsuits against them too. What's the excuse then? They'll say, the person wouldn't let them deliver it. Well, what's the person's name? It wouldn't let you deliver monies to me. Need that information. Where do they live? What job do they work at? What's their career? What's their credentials? Just because they're in government doesn't give them rights to do these things. Then they'll say, they were trying to protect their race by murdering off rich and famous people in America is what their political party might say. For their personal gain? No, that's treason. You're not allowed to steal land under politics or government positions of any kind. You're not allowed to steal any of my land or property. I'm a royal of this country. And I'm 100% hermaphrodite. And so was my parents, grandparents. Plus, family history. Roll protocols in the media 24 hours a day. Any damage that they've caused to my body, those people can face life in prison or the death penalty. And where's the compensation? Because they've known every day that they've held me hostage here, they've caused me injuries every day. Skin abrasions. They've tried to play their injury game. They were trying to play arthritis, terrorism with a satellite, and all this other shit. They need to get prosecuted, whoever they are.